Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Disco Elysium, where I am continuing my first time playthrough of the game with a spoiler-free run, hopefully. We are going to be picking up exactly where we left off last week, and if you missed last week's episode, it is available both currently on Twitch and also on the YouTube channel, where all of the Disco Elysium sessions are archived. But where we left off last week was that we were just about to go and knock on the door of the apartment of the young man that we saw smoking on the balcony, who may or may not have been a witness to what turns out to have been a corpse that was, seagulls, to a corpse that was hanged after it was killed in order to hide, for some reason, the fact that it was killed. So, we are right in front of apartment number 28. And let's go and see if this guy actually witnessed anything. Door, apartment number 28. This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Reaction speed success. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives. Kim, let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door. Well, that's exactly what I came here to do, so no one answers. Looks like the young man we're looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. He looks around, taking in the cold spring air. We should return tomorrow after we've finished with our day's work. How about 2100? Sound good? Tomorrow? What do you mean? Sounds good. Tomorrow, 2100. I don't think I can make it. Well, I guess it's tomorrow. The game's Wednesday at 2100. I'm just gonna make a note of that. Okay. Sounds good, Kim. Tomorrow, 2100, right here, apartment number 28. He writes it down in his little notebook. Good, let's go. Reaction speed success. Damn, turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry, you'll get him. Logic success. Remember, tomorrow. He's probably gone for today. I'm gonna knock again anyway. No one answers again. Yes, we should return tomorrow. Yes, okay, fine. Fine, we'll go. All the way here. Well, as long as we're here, let's try this door. I don't think I tried this door. Oh, right, it's locked. Well, I could break in, but I don't think I will. Visit apartment 28 sometime after 2100 to see if anyone's home. Okay, well, it's in-game Tuesday right now. Tomorrow is in-game Wednesday. I guess we'll have to come back tomorrow. Well, that's disappointing. I really thought I'd be able to, talk to somebody. A witness to a murder that wasn't a murder. Which is something that I found out, what was it, 3 weeks ago? Hard to remember. But yes, as long as I'm here, what all else is there to do? I've already been in there. But I don't think I did anything with the other doors in this hallway. Sure, why not? Padlocked door. This door is being closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number of the board says number 11. Well, if it's padlocked on the outside, it's doubtful there's anyone inside. So let's examine the padlock. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. Interfacing. Success. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. 3% chance because it's -10 because tool is not in hand. You know what? Let's do that. I know I didn't break in the other door, but I was very out in the open there. Chain cutters. Saving. Door. Okay, 72% chance now. Success! The shackle snaps like a twig and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now. After you, detective. Alright, in we go. I don't like the inability to rotate the camera, I have to admit. But yes, first thing we do is we put the chain cutters back away. And let's have a look at the various dots around here. A flamboyant poster of a white star, real lithography. Isn't that communist symbol around here? It's got the stag horns and everything. Photos of revolutionaries posing with guns. Books of critical theory on the monstrosities of capital and such. Okay. Okay, there's 2 interactable things. I'm going to go for this cabinet first. I'll take all that. Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns. Yes, they do, don't they? But anyway, what were all those things that I just picked up? Okay. Summersian lounge jacket. +1 conceptualization. Summer plans. A classic white summer jacket, loved by both Sumerian Communist Party and the accompanying subtropical drug traffickers. It fits you well, regardless of your political ambitions. +1 conceptualization versus +1 esprit de corps and +1 shivers. Well, I am really enjoying my shivers, actually. My shivers are incredibly poetic, and I very much have enjoyed. They haven't exactly done anything useful, but I've really enjoyed interacting with them anyway. So, and the esprit de corps has been somewhat useful. So I think I'm actually going to keep on this jacket that I have. And what was the other thing? I don't know. It must have gone into the plastic bag. That's probably what happened. That's what I get for just clicking very quickly so that I could get to that dot before it vanishes on me. I don't know if the dots vanish, but just in case. And we have a bust of Kraz Mazov. A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Mazov. Those are difficult words to say together. Well, the name. Difficult names to say together. Encyclopedia success. Kraz Mazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and theoretical historian. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the turn-of-the-century revolution, where he headed the 11-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovenism. Mazovism? Words. Why does this tenant have a bust of Mazov in their bedroom, or leave? No, why? Kim, the White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. He looks around before mumbling to himself. How fitting. Okay. It's nice to have found the jacket, I guess, but I'm not sure what help that was to my investigation. You know what? I should probably close the door. Let's close the door. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that was certainly a thing. What about this door? Locked door. You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10. Okay, let's knock. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. Perception, hearing, success. Sounded like a woman's shoes. Let's knock again. This time the steps come closer. Who is this? Demands a female voice, wary and tense. This is the police. Open up or leave. This is the police. Do I have to open the door? You hear the clacking of heels again as the other side walks right up to the door. Her tone is now getting a defensive edge. Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant. Elizabeth, is that you? Cam, let's go, the lieutenant says. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment. Logic, success. It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason. Alright, let's go. Let's see. Been out there, talked to her. Been in there. I just keep trying to scroll the screen. I was playing another RPG earlier today where I can just scroll the entire screen through the whole map just by moving my cursor to the edges. And I miss that. I miss that a lot right now. Okay, I've been through that door. I don't think I've been down those stairs. So let's try that. And another loading screen. How long the loading screen is may indicate whether or not we're going to be going outside. Like, to some extent, the outside has already been loaded today, since we were basically outside when we were out on the balcony looking for the young man. My loading times in these games are kind of... Okay, that's a plastic bottle. That is excellent. And yes, I've come out underneath Cindy? Is that Cindy? Yes, that's Cindy. Okay, this is a little bit further along than I had come before. But you know what? Why not? There's a lady down here I need to speak to. Oh, and a dot I have not examined. Looks like there was more construction here, once, decades ago. I hope I have not got the game set too loud, because to me, these waves are practically deafening. I hope folk can hear me. Let's see here. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A. Well, that rule's probably being broken right now. What do we have over here? The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. Oh, more magnesium. Excellent. I can always use magnesium. My morale is constantly taking hits. Okay. Now, she's somebody I'm pretty sure I really need to talk to, but I'm going to interact with this dot first. Your room in the whirling isn't much bigger than this sloop. Well, that's helpful. This is worth more than you'll ever earn in all your life. Well, I can't dispute that. Both my in-game character and my personal character. I would never be able to afford a boat like this. Especially not in a dystopia, which we're not quite there yet, so... Okay, so, if I've been following it correctly, this lady should be the rep of White Pines, who is nominally the one who is being, that the strike is against, although it's all very confused. Joyce Messier. A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat. I hope I have enough authority for this.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. Joyce L? What does the L stand for? What gave us away? Shake her hand. Don't shake her hand. What does the L stand for?
Leighton, my maiden name.
Her bony hand dangles from the sleeve of her oversized raincoat. Let's shake her hand. Let's...
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold. Well, she's been hanging out on a boat for ye gods only knows how long. I'd be more surprised if she wasn't cold. Interfacing success. Like steel, there's strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
My interfacing is paranoid.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Thank you, Kim? Rhetoric, success. There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic. Reaction speed, success. It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you? Kim!
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Okay. You're on a boat. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do? What can you tell me about this strike? What can you tell me about this lynching? Do you know something about these tattoos? And show her the photo. Or thank you, that's all for now. And obviously I'm not going with the last one just yet. Let's skip the stupidity statement and go straight to, what do you do for Wild Pines? What we do, I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking. Rhetoric success. There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent. So what do they do? Fair enough, tell me something else. No, what do they do? The Pines' core competency is logistics, container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. She points to the small dots on the horizon. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. Then to the east, towards the harbor, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil, and gas exploration, offshore platforms. Encyclopedia success. The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revicolian Indotribes, companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indotribes? I'm not sure which way to pronounce that one. Remain. Who are the other of those companies? You're in good company, it seems. How much money does Wild Pines have? Or got it? Tell me something else. Who are the others? Saint Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star. You're in good company, it seems. Joyce, why thank you. She does not register the real meaning of the remark. Sure, let's ask her how much money it has. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue. Wow, that's it? I thought Wild Pines was supposed to be the big time. Or numbers like that mean nothing to me. Numbers like that mean nothing to me. Splash? Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary, but they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks. A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It is a tremendous responsibility. Okay, where does it get all the billions? They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Indisulindan Islas 250 years ago, when Pine's ships explored the South Semines and charted Lo Manthang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it. Well, that's opened up. It probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly. Or what does such a huge system want with a place like this? Look around. I'm going with that one. What does this huge system want with a place like this? You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, she gives you a little smile, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? You know, this hits differently given that there is a ship blocking the Suez Canal right now, which is blocking close to the same percentage, if I'm remembering correctly. I would have to double check, which I'm not going to do right at this moment, but that's an interesting coincidence. The game obviously well predates this, but still funny. 8% of all cargo in the world? That's quite the endeavor indeed. You don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company is nothing without them. Or that's all I needed to know about something else. Let's go with 8% of all cargo? Quite an endeavor. I just got a new thought. Oh, I'm going to have to check on that later. She nods forcefully. There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Each hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen. She speaks an excellent line of rhetoric. So, what can you tell me about the strike then, Joyce? Everything, she smiles, right up to, but not including, trade secrets. Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets? What is your role in this precisely? Or I have other questions. What if I want to hear about trade secrets? First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and Ailments that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. An octopus? I will slay it. How do I repeal it, then? Wouldn't want to disturb an octopus. Better let it be. How do I repeal it, then? Why, by throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the Coalition. Unfortunately for you, the Coalition also leases you the right to police West Reficol. Oh, I see. Logic, success. You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words. All right, leave it alone. But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike. What is your role, precisely? I believe the official title is Senior Laborer Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer. Drama success. No way, she's more. She can make decisions. Really, Drama. Thank you. And how are the talks going? Joyce, they're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Aha. Reaction speed success. Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2.20M racist behemoth blocking the gates. Oh, yes, 2.2-meter racist behemoth. Blocking the gate. That is a really awful line break. Okay, oh, you mean Measurehead. So the strike is connected to the lynching. Or how are the talks going before the lynching? Oh, you mean Measurehead? Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead. She leans back and rolls her eyes. So the strike is connected to the lynching? Her eyes narrow. Yes, I believe there is a connection, but that's a subject for later. No, it's a subject for now. Fine. How are the talks going before the lynching? Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived. Kim, and when did you first arrive? Joyce, I arrived 3 weeks ago, she thinks. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM. Kim, he looks at his notes, but the strike began in December. Joyce, I wasn't the original negotiator here. Oh. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations. Kim, this isn't the first time the union has gone on strike? Joyce, heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time the demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive. Rhetoric success. Ludicrous, even, it's meant. What happened to this Gaumont? What are their demands? The scabs at the gate, did you put them there? What do you think of Evrard? That's all I need here, let's change the topic. Well, I'm definitely not going with the last one. What happened to... No. What are their demands? There are leaflets everywhere and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker a member of the board. Logic success. Most of the workers probably don't know what that means. I like it. I don't know what to think about that. Over-aggressive commie posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business. Forget it, I wanted to ask something else. I don't know what to think about that, honestly. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Oh no. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. That's pretty funny, I have to admit. The workers can't be kings, the king is king. The king is dead, long live the workers, or what are you going to do? It's pretty funny. It is pretty funny. They are having a blast, but how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was that they would prefer a more practical solution. So what are you going to do? I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that this was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up. It's just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation if there ever was one. Kim, excuse me, the lieutenant looks up from his notes. From whom would you hear about this lynching? Her reply comes quick. I first heard it from the boya at the gates, the one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was call me mañana. Reaction speed, success. This checks out. What happened to Gaumont? Mr. Clare told him to, how did he put it? She pauses to compose herself. Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Okay then. Cool. Not cool. Okay then. Yes, keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the Union. What do you think of Everard? Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first. Really? Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. Hand-eye coordination success. If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier. Where am I supposed to get a rapier? You sound like you're about to take a rapier to him. That's Everard, all right. Or he's not that bad. That's Everard, all right. He's the most corrupt individual I've ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there's anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepoistic, then it's his twin brother Edgar. I remember hearing about something about this Edgar, or wait, there are two of him? Wait, there's two? Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of the workers' dues. What about the Union itself outside the Brothers Clare? Or let's take this back to the strike. No, what about the Union itself? The Debardiers' Union was once a perfectly normal institution, 20 years ago anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Insurgency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. She adjusts her hair. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a, how do you say, she hesitates, looking for the right expression. Kim, a mob, the lieutenant says succinctly. The Debardiers are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we're forced to cooperate with them. Joyce, refreshingly honest, officer, she nods. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. She turns to you. And your opinion, detective? If I may ask, I'm a curious and talkative person, you see, she explains. Would you say the Debardiers' Union is... oh boy. An effective advocate for the rights of local working men? A giant leech sucking the life out of Revocol? Basically a socialist mob. Or I prefer not to have an opinion on these things. Basically a socialist mob, honestly. This one, anyway. Thank you for being candid, she nods. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers. Oh, I've got a new one. One more thing. You said something happened in the elections? Oh, experience. Nice. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared. Oh. Disappeared? I agree, Kim. Joyce. Yes, on the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story. Reaction speed, success. This forewoman, her name? Eerie. It happens, or some kind of extortion, probably. Nope, reaction speed is right. Her name? Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence. Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the Union's files. Eerie, it happens, or some kind of extortion. Some kind of extortion, probably. Indeed, the company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him. Kim, thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine. The scabs at the gate, did you put them there, Joyce? The scabs? She raises her brow. You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock come to plead for work where the Union refuses to? She totally did it. Reaction speed, success. Don't let her answer it herself. No, I mean scabs. Let's call them strikebreakers. You put them there, right? You're right. I don't know what got into me. Some of the degenerate dock worker lingo is rubbed off, it seems. Let her continue. No. Let's call them strikebreakers. If these strikebreakers were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not yet, at least. She totally did it. Rhetoric, success. It's implied she's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion. Oh. All right. On to a different topic. Of course, she passes the thermal cup between her gloved hands. How else can I help? Oh, this actually has a new option. By the way, I've talked to Everett Clare. No, you know what? I'm going to ask about the tattoos. That's the man who was killed. She almost takes the photo, but then stops. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. So you know something about the tattoos? Fine, let's return to it later. Or why? How is you looking at the photo tied to the lynching? No, how is you looking at the photo tied to the lynching, Joyce? Better not to tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there's something else I can help you with. Okay, what can you tell me about the lynching then? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers. Oh boy. Did complete a task, though. That's nice. Kim, of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. The lieutenant hands her a piece of blue plastic. I'm Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. He points to you, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice. Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective? She returns the lieutenant's badge and turns to you. Drama, success, joy. 'Twas stolen by some artist, surely. Best to pin the blame on them. Everyone knows you can't trust artists. Drama, what the hell? You give me one useful thing and then you give me this? Why should I blame it on an artist? Some artist type stole my badge. It was a mistake to trust them. Or remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it. I like the third one. I'm going with it. Unusual medical episode, ma'am. I see. She looks increasingly worried. So are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life and the world. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing. Yes. Yes. I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Darn it. I could have eaten it for all I know. Oh dear. She sighs with confusion, sadness even. Some kind of amnesia. Well, whatever. I don't even know how to respond. I don't even know how to pronounce that word, so, moving along. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you'd gain by faking such a condition. Kim. As I said, ma'am, the lieutenant interjects, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM. New task. Joyce's info on the lynching. Joyce, of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge. Rhetoric, success. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial agreement. Or arrangement, sorry. Suggestion challenge, medium. How do I negotiate my way out of this? Or then I'll find it somehow. Let's talk about something else until I do. Oh my. It has a 17% chance because I have a +1 from sympathy for my amnesia. My suggestion is 0. I'm going to try it. Cross fingers. Failure. Feelings will guide the way. Oh dear. But madam, I need to know about this lynching. It's very important to me. It's the case I'm solving. I assure you it's no small matter for me either. We all share the responsibility for disarming the situation. I hope you have a badge for me as soon as possible. You don't understand. It's not like a side case for me. This is my main thing. Or you have so much else. I have only this. Spread your hands. This is the entirety of my existence. You know what? I'm going with number 2. The entirety of my existence is this case, ma'am. She's silent. The wind flaps the sail above her, very loudly in my headphones. This boat, for example, in a home somewhere. I only have this case. And my morale's being damaged. Officer, the carbon fiber hull creaks. I don't remember anything except this lynching. There's only this coast and this lynching. This case is what I will be known by. Number 1. I don't remember anything. Joyce, you know, she puts her foot on the guard wire. I don't mean to sound cold, but if you want something, you have to give something back. More than just guilt. Suggestion, you're doing it. Despite your own best efforts, you're still getting in somehow. Joyce, I'll be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something tangible. Like what? The Union is conducting drug trade out of the harbor. It's an open secret in Martinez. Surely it must not come as a complete surprise to the RCM either. Perhaps it's time to look into it? Or if you can find your badge, which honestly seems like a lost cause. Kim, detective. The lieutenant closes his notebook. A word in private before we continue. Oh boy, excuse us for a moment. What is happening? I think this is actually the first time that a failure on a check has been quite this elaborate. And it's auto-saved. And possibly frozen. Please don't freeze. Okay. Let's step away. Far away, further away. That's away enough. And talk to Kim.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
The lieutenant's voice is hushed. How did you hope it would go? Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchmen. Oh, so we're henchmen now. Or really? I thought it was going so well. Oh, neither of these answers are actually... I thought it was going so well. Kim, this woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands. Logic success. Maybe this is all her plan? She might have heard about you. I'm not sure if anyone in the neighborhood hasn't heard about me by now. The company must have more ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition. What do you propose? That we don't investigate the drug trafficking? We could just, find my badge, or let's get back to her then. What do you propose, Kim? No, if there's reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim that we're siding with the Union, or that we're on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate. Briefly. He adjusts his glasses, but we do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching. We could just find my badge? Oh, he nods slowly. That would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. Logic success. The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence. Darn it. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months. The company must have more ears on the ground. I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She is a professional, after all. Well, let's get back to her then. And I have all sorts of dots. Why do I... Okay, that was for the plastic, most likely. This is... Joyce is info on the lynching. There is something she wants to tell you. You just have to present her with your badge to hear it. Or, perhaps if you did her a favor, she would waive off the formality? Whatever the case, you need to know what she knows. And over in the Dunzo, there is the... where is it? Oh, who knows? Oh, there it is. Wild Pines rep. That's the one we just finished. This font is so tiny. Okay, and over in Thoughts, the 15th Indo Tribe. Temporary research bonus is none. Research time 5 hours and 55 minutes. Wild Pines, Feld, Capri, Tricentennial, Villiers, and La Salle. Names of Rivicolian Indian tribes spring into your head, set loose at the mention of wild pines. Royal monopolies, octopuses and swordfish, most of them gone now. YBP, Expander, St. Baptiste, Brightest Star, LUM, Resplendent, East Indilindic, Welter, and L cassette? But isn't one missing? Wait, no, there were only 14. Then why do you feel like there was a 15th? That's an unusual one. All of the previous ones have had research bonuses. Most of them have been actually debuffs, but this one with absolutely none, what does that actually get one if you internalize it? I might have to think about putting in a point for a thought just to find out. That is a problem for later. Let's go back.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Alright, tell me about this alleged drug trafficking. Which is good that I want that one since I've got that bug where I can't scroll down. Yay. It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from Samaran Isola into Revicol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years. Kim, ingredients for what, ma'am? Joyce, meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Let me get this straight. The materials come from Samara to Revicol through the terminal? And you want us to investigate. Okay, through the terminal? Yes, after they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here. Kim, Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean? Joyce, we're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no, as far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients. For a cut. And you want us to investigate. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Everard and the Dockworkers Union. Still, she raises her bony finger, every chain has its weak link. Logic, success. The handoff, the motor lorries at the roundabout. The lorries, or am I going to need bolt cutters for this? The lorries. Joyce, precisely. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbor into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they are vulnerable. Visual calculus success. How convenient that they're stranded, like beach whales at that roundabout. Joyce, perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. She gives you a knowing look. Perception, sight, medium. Success. Her irises are light green, like liver esperance in bright daylight upstream where it's clearer. Joyce, I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you. Logic success. Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them. Oh, many options. Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier? It's no coincidence the lorries are stranded there like that, is it? What proof do you have that the Union is involved? We already have some suspicions that one of the drivers was present at the lynching. Okay, I've made up my mind about the smuggling investigation, which is a proceed. Or actually, let's discuss something else for now. Oh no, not the last one, and not number 5 either. It's no coincidence they're stranded, is it? No, we asked East Motor Tract to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, she pauses, looking to the sea. This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. She looks north. Thousands of liters of raw ingredients will pour into the streets of Rivacol. Not the east across the river, but the west, the vulnerable and the weary. Kim, well, at least this solves one mystery. Joyce, what is that, Lieutenant? Kim, why I had to call East Motor Tract and beg them to open the drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage. Joyce, I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kitsuragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand. Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier, then? We did, on more than one occasion. Apparently there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under. Oops. Kim, we know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCM. No one's been able to find any hard evidence. Joyce, well, she smiles and points towards the roundabout. Here's your chance, officers. What proof do you have that the Union is involved? How do you think they're financing the strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight. That's a very good point. Kim, there was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it. Joyce, with all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves. So you think the strike is being funded with source ingredients for drugs? Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely. Then loaded onto lorries and driven into Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you. Sure, we already have some suspicions. The two might even be connected, Joyce says. Oh, sure, helpful. Kim, or not, though if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it. Joyce, as eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done. Okay, I've made up my mind. Yes? We will take this case, probe the drivers, see what it yields. Accept, or there's no way we can take this case. Refuse. It's the only way we're going to get information. Accept. New task, the gem mystery. Excellent. She takes a long sip of tea. According to my reports, there's at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. She takes another long sip from her seemingly bottomless thermal cup. She's doing it for effect. She hasn't been drinking anything this entire conversation. You seem smart. I need someone to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in. Sure, let's try that. This reality? She pulls her hood closer around her neck. Drama success. Yes, reality is your side case. I have no connection to it whatsoever. Go away. Conceptualization success. An experimental side case. Reality is not here anymore. Reality went away. Reality threw itself in the harbor and died. Reality is gone, folks. I am conducting a personal investigation into the world I find myself in. It's related to that medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality. No time to explain, just give me the lowdown. Actually, now is not a good time for a reality lowdown. Maybe later. It's related to that medical episode. Yes, the episode. Sounds like an acute case of amnesia, now that I think of it. She puts down her thermal cup and looks at you. Kim, don't be fazed, ma'am. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality. Oh, thank you for backing me up, Kim. Joyce, we may be here a while, then. She takes a long sip of tea. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can. Encyclopedia success. All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but let's begin with the first, okay? Where are we? What times are these? What is this acute... fancy word for amnesia? Esprit de corps, legendary challenge. What is think of something close to you? What are you? What is this? Spread your hands. A conceptualization impossible challenge. What is reach for something fundamental? Or that's all for now. Conclude. Oh my. Esprit de corps legendary challenge is currently at 28. +1 because the RCM can access an ICP database. +1 RCM uses unjacketed ammo. +1 RCM Kim debrief done. Yay! And the conceptualization is sitting at 3%. With absolutely no modifiers. Okay, we'll go with your suggestion, Encyclopedia. Where is here? We're at Martinez, baby. Baby? And what is Martinez? Oh. She's just being condescending to me now. And what is Martinez? Martinez is a district of Revicol. She looks around, her green raincoat flapping in the wind. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbor, north of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. She shrugs. It has its own charms, just not this time of year. Admittedly, March is a terrible time to be anywhere in the Northern Hemisphere. Be that as it may. Tell me more about Martinez. You mentioned a sea. What sea is this? Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revicol, which is a continue? Or tell me about another, perhaps even more fundamental aspect of reality. Tell me more about Martinez. I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. She closes her eyes. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. She opens them. This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets. Okay, what sea is this? It's not really a sea. It's the Bay of Revicol, and the bay feeds into the ocean. Are we near the ocean? I ask, as if that's not obvious. Yes, we are on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water, the Insulindic. Encyclopedia success. Known to the early Revicolians as Les Immenses Bleus, the blue immensities. Okay. What's the name of the island? Caillou. Oh, we're standing on a small bald-headed child. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh, is that a solely Canadian reference? I don't care. Oh no. She looks to the waters. Imagine a pebble, a smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea. Misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez Distribute. Caillou is a cartoon character. He's a small, bald child who learns lessons about life and family and stuff. It's a cartoon for very, very young children. Empathy success. It's clear this pebble is of enormous value to her. Conceptualization success, and to humanity at large. Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revicol? Revicol is what you call a city. What kind of city? The great kind. What makes it great? History detective. They built this city to resolve history, our part in it at least, our centuries. Okay, who built this city? When was it built? And will it resolve history? When was it built? In the Doloran century 380 years ago. And who? The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Semenine and Ilmara, depending on your creed. And why will it resolve history? They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts, ideological conflicts, the stuff of men. The wind has suddenly gotten very loud in here, and I'm really hopeful that the mic is not picking it up too much. If it is, I apologize. Why here? We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. She smiles. It's where the money is. So we're in an unimportant part of an important place. So we're pretty much at the center of the world. So we're on the periphery, basically nobody's. We're at the center of the world? Oh, we're quite a way off. About, she points across the water where the skyscrapers rise. Perception. Sight success. A collection of tall ghosts behind the water vapor, light reflecting off their glass windows. 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of old building. The bottom floors are Insercom, Coalition Government, Insolent and Mission Command. Look to the sea. Silence, she lowers her hand. Inland Empire success. The water, the light, it's as though you're seeing it for the first time. Shivers success. Welcome back, Shivers, I missed you. There's no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it. Where are we? I don't know any of this. Say nothing, observe the large body of water swelling. Cold. Oh, that one. Observe. A thought games. Jamais vu. Oh my. Oh my. That's a cousin of déjà vu. Déjà vu is the feeling that you have done something before. Jamais vu is the feeling that you are about to do something again, I think. Derealization. She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks the silence, slowly. Inland Empire success. This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you? Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a low-down... Kim, this has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask. He turns to you, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am Messier will be here later, too. And tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am? Joyce, absolutely. My commitment here is long-term. Yes, it would be. You're right, Lieutenant. I'll continue later. But I want to know everything now. But won't I be lazy if I don't do it at all now? But won't I be lazy? Kim, of course not. He shakes his head. You're already diligent for getting this far, and diligent boys remember where they left off. Ha ha ha! Indeed, I am always at your service. Let's see, has this been changed at all? It has not. It is still a 28%. This is still a 3%. This is a broad hint to move along from Kim. That's all for now, then. I am still not going to go with the obvious you're on a boat. But... by the way, I've talked to Claire. You have? She smiles carefully. And how did you like Mr. Clare? I didn't. He's a beautiful man, beautiful and just. Everard Clare is a hero of the workers' movement. He's a champion I've sworn fealty to. He's a bloated rainbow socialist. I can do business with him. For a socialist, he's reasonable. He's not the champion I have chosen. I wish to swear fealty to you and the cause of capital. It's not important if I liked him. I was doing my job. Oh. I am torn between the first one and the last one. I think the way that I've been playing this character, that it's not important if I liked him. I was doing my job. Of course, Detective. Excuse me for implying otherwise. Kim, the RCM does not pick sides in this. I hope it doesn't come off any other way. Of course, and I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I am not a corrupt worm myself. She turns to you. However, if you feel like discussing something... How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping. Oh. Oh my. Conceptualization success. Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things. Oh, but she wants the dirt. She wants the dirt so badly. Oh, is there any way that I can leverage this? I helped him turn up the heat on the borscht. I'd rather talk about something else for now if you don't mind, which is a conclusion. No, I don't want to share the thing about the borscht with her. I do not. So I guess it's something else. Of course, Detective. She simmers down. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with? Okay, thank you. That's all for now. I will be back with more questions about reality. Of course, Detective. Take care. That, I think, was actually quite productive. Not what I'd hoped for, but certainly productive all the same. And the game has decided to freeze once again on the autosave. We will resume as soon as I've actually... Oh no! Oh dear. The game has crashed. Oh, I hope that conversation was actually saved. I'd hate to have to go through the whole thing again. One moment. We'll just put this over to the right back screen. And I will get that program restarted. That was very unexpected. That is only the second time that the game has actually crashed on me, although it has threatened to do so multiple times now. For some reason, when the game itself triggers an autosave, my computer and/or the game does not like it. So let's just get this spun back up again. I am hoping that that autosave went through so that I don't have to follow that very long conversation tree again. But I don't know yet. But yes, that's very disappointing. But yes, still getting the game started up here. Oh, I really, really hope that autosave that it set off actually went through. Okay. And it looks like it did not. Oh dear, it's the quick save that I made after I had the conversation with Kim. Oh dear. Okay, so we're going to have to go through the entire drug thing conversation again. And the existential one. That is very disappointing. Let's see. That was at least 10 minutes. So I will run the stream at least 10 minutes over in order to make up for the looped time. That is, if we load properly. Come on, you can do it. I hear the waves. Okay, here we go. Here we go, we're bringing this back together. Come on, game. I know you're there. There we are. Okay, so this is just after the conversation with Kim, unfortunately. Which means we're going to have to go through this whole thing again. I do apologize. I wish I knew why the game did that.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Oh, that was... Alright, alleged drug crafting. Quite straightforward. There's Wild Pine suspected it for years. Ingredients for what? Da-da-da. Okay. Through the terminal. Yes. Wild Pines seems to have pre-apprised. Yes, we knew about it. We've known about it for a long time. You want us to investigate. Yes. The lorries. I'm going to try to follow this the same way that I did before. So, just quickly. Once they reach Jamrock, yes. How convenient. Yes, we Wild Pines did that. Strange observation about her eyes. Okay, find the driver. Hopefully it's one of the drivers who's actually hanging around. Okay. No coincidence, right? Nope. Continue. Limited time opportunity. Looks north. Solves the mystery of why Kim was late. But not the one of why I got here before Kim. I guess I definitely didn't drive in, but how did I get in? Okay. Why didn't you come to the RCM earlier? We did. Jurisdiction problems. Jurisdiction problems. What proof do you have? All the talk about shaking down the local businesses and how do you think they're financing the strike and da-da-da. Okay, we have some suspicions that one of the drivers was involved. They might be connected, who knows? Maybe not. Okay, I've made up my mind. We'll take the case. Task gained. Excellent. Alright. Hopefully one of them will know something. May come to nothing or not. In the meantime, let me know. Okay, you seem smart. Reality. Okay. I chose number 2 here. Don't be phased. Da da da. Task updated. Encyclopedia. And I went with the most basic. I skipped over the why are you calling me baby? It's a district and all this. Tell me more. You mentioned a sea. It's a bay. The ocean. What's the name of this island? It's Caillou! Oh, it's a... Why must it be Caillou? Okay. Alright, that's Martinez. What about Revcol? City? What kind of city? Greatest. When? Who? Why? Terrible question of our time. Why here? Okay, so we're pretty much at the center of the world. It's over there. Describing skyscrapers. Look at the sea. Inland Empire has a few things to say. Shivers, hi again. Observe it. Jamais vu. Inland Empire. One thought you need to complete. Where are you? Something about lowdown, informative, thank you. Not ask them all now. Would I be lazy? Of course not. Okay, that's all for now. I talked to Everart. It's not important if I liked him or not. I was doing my job. She really wants to know. Oh, she wants to know so bad. But I'm not going to tell her. Something should come up. Till then, is there anything else? That's all for now. Will it work this time? Take care. Please, cross fingers. We made it out alive! Okay. And we have picked up the jam mystery. Someone's using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients of drugs into Revicol. Joyce said that there are 3 drivers at the intersection. Talk to them. One of them must know something about the drug trade. Interrogate the drivers about the smuggling. Okay. And I updated something. Ah, here we are. I updated Get a Reality Lowdown. Joyce is rich and willing to answer your questions. Ask one. Keep asking Joyce questions about reality, or return later. She'll be here whenever you need the info. Oh, I will return for more of those questions. There are some fascinating questions on that list. Okay, and in our thoughts we have jamais vu. Derealization. Temporary research bonuses none. Research times 3 hours and 25 minutes. Rivicol Special Administrative Region, Le Caillou, the Inslinden Ocean, Coalition Government, Inslinden Mission Command. Name after name, and none of them is familiar. They seem real, but something is wrong. You feel like a kid looking at stickers on the fridge. Trouvant, the Apricot Company, World Games 34. You can almost see your hand reaching out for them. Scratch at the corners, see if they peel loose. This feels like the most important of all the thoughts, the one you truly must complete. Well, that's a very meta warning from the game right there. That's next time I get a skill point, I'm definitely going to have to start working on this one. Who am I to avoid a hint so broad when it's thrown directly at my face? Okay. Oh my goodness, it's snowing. Okay. Obviously, I can't go further down the coast from this side. I'm gonna have to wait until the in-game Wednesday when I can get across this canal, inlet, whatever it is that's blocking my way here. Okay, that was all very interesting. Now, I could go back to Claire to tell him that that apartment's being opened. But I think maybe I'll let him wonder if I'm doing it for a while longer. Oh, this is new. There's something down there. The musty smell of potato cellar in spring emanates from the air vent. There is something down there. Interesting. I don't think I have anything to say to the old men just at the moment. I could send Kim away, but I think that perhaps talking to the lorry drivers might not be a terrible idea.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
Let's see. We have got any smokes on you? Care to spare some change for a working stiff? Or you seem like a man who knows, oh dear, it's cut off. Got any smokes? Nope, don't smoke. He nods towards the big lorry behind him. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around waiting for the jam to disperse, or waiting for the sweet release of death. Perception, smell, success. Hey, isn't he, like, smoking right now? The smell is in the air. He is absolutely smoking right now. You see him making the hand gesture and everything. Sure you smoke. You're smoking right now. Okay, his eyes smile. But this is my last one, and it's a bad habit. You should quit before both of us have lung cancer. Okay, now I can actually scroll down. You seem like a man who knows about drugs. An empathy, formidable challenge. What do you see in his eyes? Which is sitting at 17%. Let's try it anyway. Failure! Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter. More coconut water. Man, you look sad. What's going on with you? Hey, Tommy, spill beans. What's troubling you? My man, I want to know about your soul. Man, you look sad. I'm okay, man. Just the jam's got me down. The fumes, the chemical rainbows, the tarpaulin stretched on the frames and the dull engines off. The man recedes into his daze of words. Empathy. Maybe the full-on direct approach wasn't correct. Damn, it's tricky business looking into someone's eyes and not doing it wrong. Okay. Smash face first into the question. You seem like a man who knows about drugs. Aw, man, me and narcotics go way back. He folds his hands behind his head and leans back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But he pauses, letting the memory dissipate. Those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Did you finance those other addictions with drug trafficking? I need to get high, and I'm looking for a dealer. Let me be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B. Not that one. Did you finance these other addictions with drug trafficking? Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me? Encyclopedia success. Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law induces a person to commit a criminal offense that the person would have otherwise been unlikely to commit, usually though through some trickery, persuasion, or fraud. In North America, entrapment is against the law. In the dystopia of the island of Caillou, who knows? What? No, of course not. Or let me be straight with you, I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B. Still not that one. No, of course not. He rubs his jaw. Then what's your deal here? Well, I have no choice. Okay, who's smuggling the drugs? The lieutenant steps in. We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive to Jamrock. Tommy, not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough already. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed towards a conflagration. You know some big words, man. Wait, then why are you still hanging around? Who do you think could be conducting the drug trade, then? Now, why are you still hanging around? Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes. Conceptualization success. A rhymesmith? This is quite credible. It goes with his cadence and way of speaking. Who do you think could be conducting the trade, then? Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revocol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions. Drama a success. We wouldn't say he's lying, sire. Honestly, Drama, I don't know what to do with or about you. Formidable conceptualization challenge. He's a poet. Hit him with your best verse. I got a 72% on this one. +1 for understood his theatrics. 72%? Let's try it. Success! Wait, there's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like, a mirror's temperature is always 0. It is ice in the veins. Its camera is an X-ray. Whoa, he leans in, his eyes bright with attention. What else? It is a chalice held out to you in silent communion. Silent communion, that's good. He's transfixed by the words. Where graspingly you partake of a shifting identity, never your own. Dang, he grunts, unable to suppress his reaction. That's some great shit. You came up with that yourself? Drama success. Or did you learn it in school? More importantly, who can prove if you did? Go with it. You deserve some acclaim. I don't really know. I think that may be an actual poet, and I've learned it by heart. I'm just a vessel for the muse. I think the words are mine, yes. I'm just a vessel. I'm just a vessel. Right, but really, no bullshit. That's great stuff. I sort of want to know if it's yours. I don't really know. I think it may be an actual poet and I've learned it by heart. I think the words are mine, yes. I think they're mine. Fucking A. Seems I got you all wrong. Cops aren't much known for their artistic sensibilities these days. I got an achievement. Caporality. Moving along. I don't know how to respond to that. That's the second ever achievement that I got. The only other one that I have is making Kim my friend and having him trust me. It is my most precious achievement. Alright. Cops aren't much known for their artistic sensibilities these days. It's good to meet a fellow poet, someone with appreciation for real text. The others here, see, they don't really get it. It makes it all easier to bear if the words are pretty. Hey man, cops are human too. Well, if the words are pretty. I getcha. When they really click, it makes the world seem manageable. Good to be on the same page. He gives you a thumbs up. Well, this character, my character, the writer of this game, and myself are all in agreement on this one. As I write too, and when you get the words right, I don't write poetry anymore. I did when I was a teenager, but when I got past the angst years, I just didn't do poetry so much anymore. But when you get the words right, it just feels so good. When you look at it and you know that you have written something and that the words are right and that you have chosen the right way to put them together to express what you are trying to say. That is the best feeling. That is why I write. Beyond, having a whole lot of plots in my head that really need to be shoved out so that there's room for the new ones that keep arriving. But the reason I have all those plots is because it just feels so good to put the words together the right way. Whatever the right way is for that case. That is one of the best feelings in the world. So I am in agreement with this art. In an Empire success. You found some common ground with this man, even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words. This was good. I'm glad I came and had this conversation. I'm not gonna shake him down for money. I'm fine now. Thank you. Bye. And a thought. Conceptualization. Why does art inspire you so much? It does, yes, but what is art? No, art is for arrogant blowhards. Why am I getting this? Discard the thought. But what is art? Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, it's history, criticism, and pure enjoyment. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined. Would I fit into the art world? I mean... Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes, disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture, too. What beard? Well, I guess that scruff along the chin is a little too big to be mutton chops, but... Hold on, is architecture also art? I guess I have been feeling critical lately. Or, that's stupid. Architecture is stupid. Hold on, is architecture also art? It is. It absolutely is. Of course not. It's autism, box drawing, masturbation with a ruler and a sextant or whatever they use. You should demean and criticize the genteel institution of architecture while extolling the virtues of the pure arts. I'm gonna have to disagree with my conceptualization on that one. Yes, a lot of architecture is boxes with rulers, but there are some beautiful buildings out there, and someone has to design those. And just because not all buildings are beautiful does not mean that architecture isn't art. I disagree strongly. Okay, what about music? Is it art? Only the most experimental kind. Oh, conceptualization, you and I are not going to get along anymore. I don't want either of these. I don't want either of them. I guess I have been feeling critical. Yes, you seek substance, no vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop. Wait, but don't I have to be 100% cop to get this case finished and all that? Okay, if 50% art critic is what's needed to free me from rote repetition, so be it, opt in. Or no, I cannot risk another corpo diversion at this point. Go away, opt out. Don't I have to be 100% cop to get this finished? I mean, I know ACAB, but, it's kind of important to get this, murder investigation completed and actually find out who did the thing. Quit being so indecisive. What are you going for here? Some kind of indecisive and camp aesthetic now? Strike a bold shape here. Go art or go home. I have opted out of everything else that's been offered me. Do I just opt into this just to have something opted in? I don't want to be an art critic. Go away. Bravo! Continue then in the mediocre and vulgar epigons of the world. So what if everything is incomprehensibly shit and you can see it? Take no responsibility. I hate you. visual calculus success. This was a good call. That guy probably thinks forensics is autism too. I am questioning conceptualization at this point, yes. Honestly, I would want to know what my conceptualization's definition of autism is if I didn't dread knowing what the definition of what its definition would be of that. Okay, I think I'm gonna wander over this way. I don't remember going this way before, because there's not very much this way to go. Or is there? Oh. Ah, nice. Now, I already read the plaque and all that earlier. There's this lady over here. I wonder if she'll speak to me yet. Pale driver. The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays. Excuse me? I know it didn't work before. No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her. I'm sorry, lady. Snap, snappy.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Snap him twice.
Where am I? Who are you?
Like a magician recalling a subject from hypnosis, you've jolted her back to reality. I was actually hoping you could tell me that. Are you right, ma'am? You were out. Me? I am the law. We're not Batman. We are not Batman. We're not... As much fun as it is to read that line. Are you alright, ma'am?
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in the traffic jam. In the 50s.
She adds with contempt. That's quite an accent on that one. Wait, what's so bad about the 50s? Where else would you be then? When else would you be then? When else would you be?
Back in Mefke, during the time of the revolution, the sidewalks and coffees are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boy Dado picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro. Until you come along, that is.
The look she gives you is accusatory. Who's Gabriel Buenguerro? So I take it you were in Mesk when you were young. Sorry to interrupt your dreaming, ma'am. Or right, I have some other questions for you. Police questions. So I take it you were in Mesk when you were young.
Someone was.
She nods as though her meaning were perfectly clear. Someone? Are these not your memories?
They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not?
Well... memory is a bit of a touchy subject in these parts right now, ma'am.
They are beautiful. That is all that matters, beautiful and true. And they will win. They are coming for this, you know. All of this.
Reaction speed success. All of what? The world? The present? Who's Gabriel Buenguerro?
This is Gabriela Buenguerro.
She shows you the photograph in the lavish amber frame. Take a look. A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw is the most perfectly chiseled things you've ever seen.
He He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of the cinema whenever he came on the screen, and schoolboys used to memorize all his lines.
She leans back, savoring the world she's conjured up. Rhetoric success. In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind. I'm not going to apologize. I have other questions for you, ma'am. Police questions.
Why not, Herife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
She settles back against the railing of her motor lorry. Behind her, mountains of memorabilia, photos and knickknacks line the dashboard. Okay, what are you hauling? I still don't really understand this whole Boyadero Gabriel Bengaro thing. Before I came, you seemed away. You seem like a woman who knows a thing or two about drugs, or thank you for now and leave, which I'm not going to do. And I'm not going to ask about the drugs, so what are you hauling? Diamonds. Diamonds, really? Of course not, she says, grinning. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was? Okay, but what are you really hauling? She shrugs. Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. So you don't know what you're hauling in your own lorry? Or, well, that's good enough for me. So you don't know? I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. She smiles a careless smile. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean. What if the cargo is contraband? I guess that makes sense, minding your own business. I don't think I do know what you mean. What if it's contraband? Then it's contraband, lawman. What, do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermangillo. Hermangillo. Encyclopedia success. Bad Hand Hermangillo's bad hand strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling people. Before I came, you seemed away. Kim, she's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things. Logic, success. So he doesn't think she's the smuggler? Why is Kim so protective of this woman? He stopped me from talking to her before. You hear that, lawman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me. Wait, why is that, Lieutenant? Should you drive a lorry if you get like that? Or, okay, let's change the subject. Why is that, Lieutenant? Kim, nothing. I just don't think she's connected to anything. Drama success. He doesn't want your frail mind caught up in something here. Something unconnected to the case. But connected to this woman tuning out like that. Should you drive a lorry if you get like that? Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camioniers around. I drive routes no one else will. What routes? Lomanov's Land? Udachna Zemla? The Western Plain? She nods and closes her eyes again, letting her mind submerge. Shiver's success. A terrible cold comes over her, rattling her teeth as she stares inward. The Transcatla Magistral, U41A, Asistradas du Mirador, all the good ones. The deep trenches, where the bluebirds fly. She opens her eyes again and shudders. I'm something of an expert in blacking out. You should take better care of yourself. This should be reported to the proper authorities. Cool, ride until you're dust, sister. Ride until you're dust. Ermow, she breathes out. I already am dust. I still don't understand this whole Boyadero Gabriel Bengaro thing. Of course not. To truly understand the Boyadero, you need to listen to On the Western Plain. Encyclopedia Success. A boyadero, boya for short, is a cowherder from upstream Magritte, the great steppes of northern Mesk. People like Mañana at the gates have turned it into an ideology of sorts. Okay, what's that? Or I've already got too many records to listen to as it is. Change of topic. What's that? It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain. I'm guessing that doesn't happen? And they live happily ever after? I'm guessing that doesn't happen. Of course not. The boyadero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the River Magritte, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down. Drama success. In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the screen fills with the maiden's imploring eyes. I think I see where this is going. So he gives up his riding and settles down, right? I can't be that optimistic. I can see where this is going. So the boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Magritte. Then he rides off because the Western Plain is calling to him. That is not where I thought it was going. Nod solemnly, a beautiful song. Or, that's a terrible song. Nod solemnly. Beautiful song. The most beautiful. A true boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by man or woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to love a boyadero. Kim is probably going to be upset at me again. You seem to know a thing or two about drugs. What do I need drugs for, lawman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare. The adversary? That's not really what I was getting at. Where could I get my hands on an experience like that? Okay, let me ask you something else then. The adversary? Yes, there is a protagonista. She gestures to the intersection, and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hall. Rhetoric success. Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary, the great unrest. Half-light success. Oh, haven't heard from you in a while, Half-light. I don't like the sound of any of that. Sounds like a horrible drug, the worst one of them all. That's not really what I was getting at. Where could I get my hands on an experience like that? Okay, let me ask you something else. Okay, let me ask you something else, because I'm pretty sure I'm not getting anything out of her. The woman sways her wrinkled shell back and forth, a strange grin across her face. Okay, thank you. Bye. Yes, go. Enough jamboree. I need to get back to Mesk. Her voice trails off. Well, that was a very strange conversation. And I'm still a little confused why Kim wanted me to leave her alone. Actually, I'm a lot confused about why Kim wanted me to leave her alone. Well, there's still more lorry drivers to pester. So what I'm going to do is, given that it is midnight now, I'm going to find the next driver to bother. Yes, here we are. Racist man. Okay, here he is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to save off here, and then next week I will talk to him. I will be back next week, despite it being Easter Sunday, because, well, when you have a schedule. And also, thanks to the pandemic, my family is not doing anything for Easter this year anyway, so I will definitely be available to do it. So, what we're going to do is a full and proper save here. Here we go. You can do it. Come on. There we go. All right. And we will call it an evening here, and we will talk to the very racist lorry driver. Well, not very racist compared to, say, Measurehead, but still pretty darn racist lorry driver. First thing next week. Won't that be fun? Except not. Okay. If you are interested in previous episodes of my playthrough of Disco Elysium, they are available on my YouTube channel. There's a whole Disco Elysium playlist on there of all of the previous 12 episodes. It's hard to believe I've been going on for that long, but I have, reading it all aloud. The update for Disco Elysium that is going to make everything fully voiced is actually coming out in this upcoming week, and I haven't actually decided what I'm going to do about that. Either I'm going to start playing it with the fully voicedness and just, be able to sit back and only read my own responses, or I'm going to turn off the fully voiced and continue reading it, and I honestly haven't decided. Probably what I'm going to do is sometime next week when I've got a bit of extra free time, I'm going to turn on the game and start a fresh game just to see what, say, my internal voices sound like, to see how well they mesh with how I've been reading things so far. And I'll just make up my mind on then, and next Sunday can be a great surprise for everyone, possibly including me. As far as schedule goes, this is the basic schedule that I've just put up here. And it's slightly different this upcoming week, but unfortunately it's just for the upcoming week, so I haven't actually changed the bot. But Among Us will actually be streamed on Tuesday this week, starting at somewhere around after 7 p.m. Eastern Time with myself and my writing friends, because the airship update for Among Us is coming out for PC at least on Wednesday, which is the normal day. And not all of my group actually plays on PC, and we're all very concerned about whether or not we're all going to get the update on Wednesday, so we decided to play on Tuesday instead, and then the Wednesday after that we'll go back to the regular schedule, with all of us definitely having the update by then. However, I will still be also streaming on Wednesday. I'll be playing Warhammer Vermintide 2 with my beloved Demolition, assisting me, and possibly any viewers who want to join, who knows. And that will be starting at 7 and running until 10 in the usual Among Us time, just, with a different game because the Among Us is being played the day before. Then on Thursday, I will be returning at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where I will be playing Oxygen Not Included, continuing to build my base and hopefully keep my people from suffocating for Try Not to Die Thursday. And Disco Elysium will be returning next Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, same as always despite the holiday. And we will be continuing with attempting to investigate apparently everything but the murder at this point. The very mysterious murder. Much more mysterious than it looked in the beginning. I'm very interested to see where this goes, frankly, and I'm also very interested in what all the full voicing sounds like, what with all the shivers and esprit de corps and conceptualization and drama and everything all being fully voiced, which is quite a promise, and I can see why it would have taken them a while to record everything. But we shall see. In the meantime, I have been babbling for ages, and so I hope that all of you have a great night, and that I see you again on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and good night.